Looking for easy ways to upgrade your stage presentation? Well, you've come to the right place. Today we're going to talk about media players, using them to promote future gigs, brand recognition, and even making yourself some extra money. I got the idea when I had a gig at a venue that had a projection screen. They utilized this screen to show UFC fights and other sporting events or other pay-per-views. Now, I'd seen a few bands that didn't utilize this screen. They turned it off, or even worse, they just left it on a sporting event. I did see some bands that did have a static image of their logo, which really upped their presentation and their professionalism in my eyes. When I inquired on how we could get our band's logo on the screen, the staff actually knew very little on how to get that accomplished. So what I did was I reached out to my fellow musician friends in the community to see how they were accomplishing it. One of them was using a laptop, the other one was using an Apple TV, and while both those options work fantastic, they're a little bit pricier. So I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Matt, who actually gave me this idea, and it is a little standalone media player that you can get off of Amazon. Now, this unit works on any TV and almost anything that has an HDMI port, which makes it super easy to use anywhere. I've used this on little TVs. I've used this on giant projecting screens. I've also used this on a huge LED screen, and it worked perfect. There's several different ways that you can get these media players, and there's very many different versions. My only suggestion is you're not going to need anything super expensive, because most of these, you're not going to be running a Marvel movie or anything that you need it to be 4K. So you can go with 1080p, and you could probably get away with 720p if you wanted to. In the box, you just get the unit and the power supply and the remote. Now, the remote is handy, but what I have done is I went in the menu and I set it up to autoplay so that I don't have to mess with it. It shows. I can just plug it in and it's ready to go. Two things you're going to need to pick up is an HDMI cable, but we have millions of those laying around. And if you don't, just get something cheap off Amazon. The Amazon Basics one is fine, and you don't even need anything long. Second thing you're going to need is a USB stick of some sort. I got this really tiny one that holds way more data than I'm ever going to need to use, and it works perfect. It fits in easily, and it has a very low profile, so I just keep it with the unit at all times. There are many ways to utilize this unit. You can use static images, you can make it a slideshow, you can use movies or anything you want. But personally, I knew that I wanted to have some form of animation. Now, my advice is that I would not make an animation that has too many crazy moving parts, because it's going to be distracting and they're there to see your band and not your logo moving. And here's how I make my animated videos. What I'll do is I'll search online for loop videos, and what loop videos generally are is a video will go through, and at the end of the video, it'll start over where it started. That way there's no hiccup in the video, and you can loop it infinitely. You can have a lot of fun with this too. You can tailor these for each gig. For example, we had a gig that was a spring break party, so what I did was I found a looping video that was a beach scene where the wind was blowing and the waves were crashing, and then I put our logo on front, and then I played that for the entire set. I won't go into crazy detail on how to build the files for these things. I will save that for a future video. That way you can make your logo into a great size so you can use it for merch, you can use it for your cards, you can use it for promo material and everything like that. Once you have your logo and your loop video, you can take that and bring it into any sort of video editing software. Personally, I use Adobe Premiere, but you can use free items such as iMovie or Windows Media Maker, and I'm sure there's tons that are even for the iPad. Any one of those will work. You just need something that'll allow you to work in layers, because you'll throw the loop on the back layer and then you'll throw your image in front of it. I like to make our videos an hour and a half long. Our sets are generally an hour, but an hour and a half gives us a little bit of time in between. And then when we go to take our break, we simply switch it. And then what I've created is a sequence of ads, if you want to say, for in between the sets that help us promote future coming gigs, our t-shirts and how much the t-shirts cost. We like to talk about facts about the band. We even like to thank everybody out for coming out and supporting local business. Most of our breaks are between 15 and 20 minutes. So depending on how long your break is, you want to make your video at least fill that, if not longer. And then when we get back up on stage, we just hit forward and it plays our next logo animation that I have already set up. And that's all there is to it. You can keep it simple, load this baby up with just an image of your logo, or you can put the animated videos like I have. You could even put a video per song if you wanted to get super crazy. But it's a great way to get information out to all the people that are reviewing your band without having to talk to them individually. If you have any fun video or any ideas that you would throw on your media player, comment down below. I'd love to read them. Thank you for hanging out today, and I'll catch you at the next show or in the next video.